Hello, so this is Compi 285 term project. It's an application we built for stock portfolio suggestion engine. The team members are me, Nidhi Tolar, Anujot, and Sachit. Uh, Talking about the architecture of the project, the front end is built using React, and Material UI template is used for styling. On the backend, we are using Python with Flask framework. REST APIs are developed to communicate with the front end, and we are using Yahoo Finance API to get real-time details of the stock.
We have developed a number of features in this project, some that were given in the requirements and some that we've developed on our own, and I'll be going over those. So firstly, our application generates a curated investment portfolio based on input investment strategies and recommended percentages of distribution. Users can choose up to 2 investment strategies from the following: ethical investing, growth investing, index investing, quality investing, and value investing. Maybe if you could move to the next slide. Thank you. So now I'll also be talking about the other features that we've built. Our application fetches real-time stock values from the stock market. Now, obviously, this will only work when the stock market is up. That's it has certain timings and it will only work during that. And then the output shows the amount allocated to each stock and historical portfolio values. Input validation has been applied on investment amount and investment strategy is given as input by the user. You can also see the line graphs of stocks for different time periods. Some of the time periods that we've done are 1 day, 5 day, a month, a year, and so on. Another feature that we've built is, which was not in the requirements, is setting and selecting your favorite stocks. So you can select your favorite stocks and you can get their current value in real time, and they'll be always saved for your profile.
So so we face a number of challenges while we were working on this project, and starting off, like, the challenges while we faced during this project was, the first thing was to understand the stock market and like the various strategies that we're proposing here. We have like numerous strategies that like our algorithm tries to contemplate and provide the best algorithm. So like in the process, like, we had to understand what ethical investing means, what growth investing means, what investing means, and what exactly is the user trying to predict, or like what exactly is the user's requirement from the software. So once he enters the value and like he chooses one of the options from the investing strategies that we have, in order to like have an algorithm which predicts the right amount which goes into each of the strategies, we first like had to understand like what the nuances of what each of these means. So that was one of the challenges that we faced during this project, and also like so developing the suggestion engine is one of the other challenges, which, as I mentioned before. And since using a front-end application is a basic UI where where the user is prompted to enter all the values, and basically because all this is happening in the backend and by fetching all with the fetching details from the API call. So we like establishing a smooth flow between both of these was a prime requirement for the application that we want to build. So that was a prime challenge, and and in the process we added features like we added loader buttons and loader UI, which would indicate the user of the wait time and all those. So which was one of the learnings during this project. So this sums up all the challenges that we faced, and we would like to now go through the test cases and provide a demo of the application that we built. Hi, thanks and welcome to BPM. So this is our application, and so we'll be quickly demonstrating all the views, the different pages that we have in our application, and then we will walk through the test cases that we have. So this is our landing page where our users would first be directed to. And as you see, our application is the only use case of application is to calculate the investing strategy. So that's what is what's there in our first landing page. So when the user is here, the first prompt is to enter the amount that the user wishes to invest. So for now, let's say the user selects enters $5,000. So once that input is given, so we have to select the first strategy. So on clicking, we have a drop down of options that we can choose from. So let me say we choose ethical investing as an option. Then we have our investment strategy two. Our strategy two would be one of the four the options that we have. So let's say we select growth investing, and then we run the engine to fetch the the output that we want to generate. We want to see the investment strategy that the algorithm proposes here. So while we wait, so while the front end hits our backend application to fetch the results. So in the front end, the user would wait for the results so that when we see the loading icon while the backend is still working to fetch our results. You could add more on the results. So yeah, so as you see, this as our algorithm has predicted here, this is the result, and this is the prediction that we have. So we'll walk through the results page and the rest of the views while we come to the demo for the test cases. So the remaining pages that we have would be the portfolio and the favorites page. So coming to the portfolio.
I would like to add something on the home page. Maybe if you could switch back to the home page. If you could just select a couple of strategies and enter an amount. The backend can sometimes take time because of the Y Finance API we are using. Since it's free tier, it's a little slower. So the stocks that we are using in ethical, if you could just scroll down here. So the stocks that we are using in ethical investing have been hard coded, and every time we'll only get Apple, Tesla, and Adobe. This can be changed in the future versions of this project. But since this was an example given to us in the requirements, that's what we've gone with. Similarly, in the other investing strategies, we have other hard coded stocks, and we'll always get the value for those. But again, the values will be real time. Now, if you could switch to portfolio, thank you. So, this is an accumulation of all the stocks that we are using in this project for different strategies, and we can get the information of all these stocks over different time periods. Now, the time periods that we are currently showing or we have currently available on our website are 1 day, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, and all, where all is the whole life of the stock. And so the first three, like I already said, are part of the ethical investing strategies: Apple, Tesla, and Adobe. And similarly, the ones below are part of other strategies. And Nidhi, if you could just demonstrate um, NVIDIA with the different timelines, the different days, months, and years. So this information is being extracted from the APIs provided by TradingView, and this is a relatively faster API that we're using compared to the Y Finance. So that's why we didn't want to use the Y Finance API over here, because that was kind of slowing it down. So we chose a TradingView API here. And again, so as you can see on the right side of this stock NVIDIA, in the green, you can see that it's 1.22% higher than yesterday, and it's $2.04 higher than yesterday. Now, if the stock market would have been open right now, these numbers would have been changing live. But unfortunately, the stock market only opens from 9:30 a.m. Eastern time to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, and right now we are outside that scope. We are at 10 p.m. Pacific time, so we won't be able to demonstrate that right now. But if this project is run when the market is open, we'll be able to see the live changes in the stock. And now Nidhi will be demonstrating the favorites tab in our application.
So the favorites tab is the extra feature that we have implemented that was not mentioned in the requirements. Here, a user could search for a particular stock, say AAPL, and then using Y Finance API, we'll get the details like the name, the price, and this way, he or the user can add favorites stocks and can view it as long as the app isn't refreshed. The data is being stored in local storage to execute this functionality. Now we'll be going through the test cases that we have defined.
So, so we'll be going on to the test cases. So coming to the first test case, so out of the 10 cases, 10 test cases that we have written to test this application. So we'll start off with the first one, which is to enter the values in our homepage. Uh, so we have added a validation check in our application to accept the investment amount only if it is higher than $5,000. So because this application is generally targeted towards calculating investment strategy, and this application treats that 5,000 would be a minimum amount that anyone could invest. So on giving any input lesser than 5,000, the application would throw an error saying to enter a value which is more or equal to 5,000 to start off with. So this is one validation which we added, and we wanted to test as part of the testing process. The second test case that we want to walk through is to like to not select any strategy while investing. So the user here has to have a basic knowledge on what is the investing strategy that he wants to go with. So upon not selecting any of the investment strategy for strategy 1 and 2, the application would again here prompt the user to provide all the required uh, fields, because and as you see here, it mentions that the strategy is missing. And that's the second test case that we want, the second validation which we added, and we wanted to test as part of the test. The third and fourth test case is for the user to select one of the options uh, that is available for him. So Yeah, so as you can see, the user has many options. Uh, Probably the drop down is not being visible on the screen, but it has a list of 5 or 6 features that five or six strategies that the user can pick from. So the user can select the strategy 1 and 2 accordingly, and then run the engine to fetch all the charts and to predict the investment strategy. So coming to our next test cases. So Nidhi would be covering the
Okay.
test cases 5 from test cases 5.
Yeah. So on the favorites tab, if say the users enter the stock and stock details would be added, and if the user tries to enter a stock symbol which is invalid, say ABCD, it says that it's an invalid symbol. The third test case would be to try to add a stock symbol that already exists. So it returns with symbol is already added to favorites. So these are the 3 test cases for favorites tab. Going over portfolio.
So the first test case we're going to do is we're going to look at the Apple stock and we're going to look at their 1 day timeline. So this is how the stock fluctuated in the last day of trading for Apple, and for the and in the same test case, you can also look at how it fluctuated over the month and 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, and all. Yeah. Now we can do the same for another stock. Uh, Example Tesla. You can see how that fluctuated over a day, and then over a month, 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, and then the whole time period where I think it was founded a little earlier than 2011. So that's where the timeline is starting. Similarly, we'll be able to see the timelines for all the stocks if we click on them and correspondingly click on the 1 day, 1 minute, 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, 5 year timelines, and it should be working in real time.
So as
So in
part of
the
the
home tab,
testing,
we can
yeah, please go ahead.
we'll go run over of the 2 strategies maybe 1 second.
Sure. As part of our test cases, so these were the 10 test cases that we have written and we have successfully tested. To like quickly give a look about the the other parts of our application, we would like to quickly show and test our application for different other inputs and to see and how the different strategies is predicted by the algorithm are varying. So here we have again entered 5,000 as our input, but we can have our input anywhere ranging from above anywhere from starting from 5,000. So here we have selected the different strategies for strategy 1 and 2. So the first strategy here would be ethical investing, and the second strategy would be quality investing. So let's see how the graphs and the charts that we have are varying. So based on the strategy the user chooses, the algorithm predicts a different kind of algorithm or different prediction for the investment strategies. So this is how the application this is how the application helps the users in choosing the best strategy for them.
So each card
Uh,
here explains the price, the number of stocks you can buy of particular stock. Say Apple, it recommends you to buy two, the total amount invested. In the same way, it explains for all other stocks. That's our demo. Thank you.
yeah. So